Hello, everybody. This is Kevin Sabourin with Rethinking Everything, and I'm here today with special guest, Mr. Eric Best. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Kevin. Good to see you, hear you again.
Thank you. For those of you that don't know, Eric and I have had a number of conversations as we prepare for the 2014 Rethinking Everything event. Eric and I have talked about everything from intentional community to the 3 sessions that he's going to give to sort of life in general, anxiety about conference planning, you name it. So, very good to have our friend Eric back with us.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to rethinking, Kevin. I really am. As we were talking in preparation for this interview, you're bring up the question potentially, what is it about rethinking I like? And one of the things I enjoy the most is the energy of the people that I meet there. There's this positive inquiry, which is obviously reflected in the rethinking title. Um, just vitally alive, and that's the sort of people that turn me on and that I enjoy being with, and I certainly enjoy the opportunity to bring some new thoughts about what can community really be like, how can we form that, how can that affect our lives, bring us more of what we want in life. So it's exciting to me.
Well, let's talk about community for a minute because you're going to host a session and then a follow-up immersion on what you call real community. So give us a
Yep,
sense, what is real community?
that's a great question. I plead guilty to putting that tag real on there in part to provoke, in a positive sense, the question, the rethinking question of when we say community, what does that mean? Do I have a prejudice one way here or one way there as to what it is? Do I have experiences in the past which are sort of okay but not? I'm looking for something different. Are we talking about communes? Are we talking about Quakers? Are we talking about an industrial community? I mean, what is it? And exactly for me, what it means is forming an environment, searching for, looking at the factors that help us to create an environment which is truly what I call life positive on all levels of our being, physically, socially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. If I look at all aspects of us individually and as a group, asking the question, what makes life most satisfying, fulfilling on all of those levels, the answer for me is real community.
Well,
I,
excellent. So those things that are sort of required to self-actualize or find harmony with others and to enjoy a sustainable, harmonious environment.
yep. It's asking the question of who am I really as an individual? Who are you as an individual? Who are we when we come together? What does it mean to be human as an individual and as a group when we come together? And what works? Just in the simplest terms, what works, what doesn't, and our ability to learn through experience. That's so crucial.
So just
And
so, oh, excuse me, just so I'm clear, you're going to offer a 90-minute presentation giving an overview of this philosophy and concept, followed by a 3-day intensive immersion where
right,
people will be able to join you. The immersion is a paid event where they'll actually be able
yes.
to join you and walk through the more tactical steps or requirements of launching a community like that.
The presentation is a conceptual reviewing of facts, literally history of things, not history in an ancient sense, but currently what's going on in science, psychology, and what can only be called, in a sense, a really down to earth practical spirituality. The heart math people you're having there at the conference are part and parcel of this. There's beautiful science coming out about how we humans interact with each other energetically at a distance, which used to be sort of a woo-woo area. Now there's actually science to support some of these interactions, and we blend all of this with experience, with psychology and the science, and there's a tremendous opportunity for
Sure.
something new to emerge, and that's what my passion is.
It always fascinates me how what used to be a soft science not long ago is becoming a hard science now as we understand different things, everything from workings of the brain and physiology to you name it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So I want to back up just a second because when you talked about real community and some of the requirements of this harmonious and kind of a sustainable, uh, community or product, um, it kind of takes me to another session that you're talking about, which is called Sex, Money, and Power.
Yep,
So,
yep.
would one assume that sex, money, and power are the three big things that could potentially derail? And
That's That's absolutely correct. I mean, that's we humans. I mean, look what happens in quote normal day-to-day life in our culture, and what are the typical big news items we're given? They're all about someone's sexual affair, about some corruption taking money away from a corporation, cheating people, or whatever, to the quest for power, um, whether it's politics or the head of corporations, and the effect that has on the rest of the people in the country and their lifestyle. Sex, money, and power have been the biggies for humanity for a long, long time. And here's part of for me, the beauty of real community is an environment which helps us realistically address those aspects of us. They're real aspects of you, me, every one of us, in a way which is life-supporting, which
Sure.
uplifts us. And with that, here's the kicker. If we can handle money, sex, and power in a way which is truly satisfying for us, which is honest, with integrity, all of that type of stuff, the energy that normally gets captured, often in a chaotic way, in those areas, is now liberated and moves up to a higher spectrum, literally. Our ability to love, compassion, creativity, all that type of
Sure.
things.
So, are you a proponent of the notion of faith or fear, or love or fear? And if so, I'm kind of wondering, sex, money, power, or one's if somebody's chasing sex, money, or power, are they doing so out of love or fear? Is that kind of the determining factor of whether they're sort of real community people or?
In a way, I think you could say that. It's love or fear is a really important distinction. It is the environment we live in, whether it's our family, our neighborhood, the entire nation. The question is how much fear is there, and I think you're absolutely right in the sense of, like, to the degree that we get overwhelmed with fear, love is not present.
Right.
To the degree that we can reduce fear, reduce anxiety, and often people hear the term fear and they think, oh, you mean like a drunk coming at me in a car, sliding, we're going to have a terrible accident, or the bear chasing me in the woods. And yes, that's fear, but the more prevalent type is the constant low anxiety, irritation of driving to work 9 to 5 in the morning, or will I lose my job, and so forth. And if those factors can be reduced, if not completely eliminated, it's a brand new ballgame.
Interesting. So, talking about fear, let's take it to the last session that you'll be presenting is called "What is my Firewalk?"
Yes. Yeah.
So, Firewalk implies a pretty big fear, more the bear in the woods kind of a thing.
Yeah, right. Firewalking is something I've taught for years and years, decades now, actually. And my energy is mostly focused on community building now. But the confrontation, how we handle our fears, how can we identify them, move through them, resolve them, is really, really important. And I'll be addressing that in what is your firewalk type of question. In rethinking, this group of people, this lovely conference, and this whole aspect of, dare I rethink my world? It used to be just education, now it's everything. We're rethinking everything. And when I do that, when you or I, almost any one of us does it, it means a change, potentially. And like, oops, change can be scary. How do I handle that fear? How do I handle that transition? And that, for me, that's one of the keys to really developing conscious, loving, sustainable community.
Fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've had a nice opportunity to meet with Eric Best here today and understand kind of what's going on in his mind and his heart, and we're looking forward to hearing him in those 4 sessions we talked about. Once again, sex, money, and power. What is your firewalk? Real community, and then of course the real community immersion. So we're definitely looking forward to hearing those. You'll get a chance to meet Eric, sit in on his sessions, and ask him questions at the 2014 Rethinking Everything Conference, which takes place on August 30th, Saturday, and
Right.
we're looking forward to having you come out. So Eric, welcome. Can't wait to meet with you and talk to you more, and see you at the
Thank you,
conference.
Kevin. Looking forward to it.
Take care.
Right.